Hi Raffles Fam, it's me again, Zen from Revo Digital Family Office. What did we set in the previous video? Can you remember? It is about the great wealth transfer between wealth holders that have Bitcoin and digital assets in their portfolio versus wealth holders that do not. So let's zoom in. Bitcoin as of now, among the top 10 assets in the world, is ranked number 6. Okay, so number 1 we have physical gold, second Nvidia, third Microsoft, fourth Apple, fifth Amazon, 6 is Bitcoin, 7 is Alphabet Google, 8 is silver, number 9 is Meta Facebook, and number 10 is Saudi Aramco. So right now ranked number 6. But we do foresee within 12 months or even as soon as end of the year, Bitcoin could climb as high as number 2 after the physical gold. And if you would like to listen more about physical gold versus Bitcoin, do review our previous video. So right now, let's look at some of the macro tailwinds that we have spoken about, right? So earlier this year, we did talk about 5 key points. Again, we have gone through them in details in previous video. Number 1, liquidity. Number 2, the reserve building. Number 3, the increased regulatory will and clarity. Number 4, the ecosystem expansion, especially in stablecoins. And number 5, the convergence of AI and blockchain. And we did mention earlier this year that it would no longer be should I be investing in digital asset. It would be how and where. Okay, so let's talk about some of the tailwinds in the market or what's happening in this month. We do have one big beautiful bill act in the US and a Genius Act that has been enacted this month as well. Overall, very positive impact on cryptocurrency by injecting more liquidity in the market. And for the Genius Act, it is really a strong boost to user confidence and it will fuel institutional adoption on that side. And we also have Clarity Act, which is a little bit neutral from the crypto market point of view, reason being because it will increase the cost of regulation, but at the same time, it will weed out in a way some of the low barrier project that might not have started. It will probably impact some innovation, but at the same time, you do narrow the field to increase the quality of projects coming on board, which will have a positive impact on increased institutional participation on that. So we do have Coinbase launching the new US Nano Bitcoin perpetual style futures, and you have more companies coming out to increase either debt or share offering to accumulate top 10 digital asset on top of Bitcoin. And you have Hong Kong stablecoin ordinance coming out in effect in August, which will definitely enhance the compliance and the trust of the industry. And you have China AMC launching a tokenized renminbi fund that's actually launched this month. And that is just one of the many projects in the RWA space. So we do have questions coming in by people or allocator, wealth holder. We do notice there is an increase in RWA tokenization project and trend. But the next question is, how do we participate or how do we get involved in this whole market trend? Obviously, one is to invest through private equity in market or in company that are participating or coming out with products. And the other one is finding out what is the underlying blockchain that are being used to create all this RWA project. And one of the notable ones will be Solana, which we have spoke about quite a bit in our previous videos. And I want to touch on in this video, which just came through this week, which is the Bitcoin dominance support level that has been broken. So you have, since the early this year, Bitcoin dominance has been climbing. You are talking about as high as 66% just a few weeks ago, and there was a point that people or analysts has been thinking that it will break through 70%, but instead of breaking through 70%, it actually came down. For the past 2 weeks, the dominance actually dropped from 65% to 60%. So what does that mean, right? to some extent, it does mean that alt season is coming. The question is this temporary, just for the week, for the month, or is it really a strong comeback for some of the altcoins that had diminished? Some of them even have values being slashed by 80% in the first quarter of this year. So, because why is it important? If that is the case, maybe it's time to rotate from Bitcoin to other altcoins, some of those AI thematic tokens. But if it's temporary, how would you take advantage of this short-term volatility, right? And also there's one thing that I want to talk about, which is what we call the crypto paradox, which is when Bitcoin dominance is falling right now, rather than seeing a drop in price in Bitcoin price continue to climb. So Bitcoin price continue to climb while the dominance drop, which means that relatively the rest of the altcoins is climbing even faster than Bitcoin, right? And if you recall, we did mention when 75% of the tokens or coins in the market climb or appreciate faster than Bitcoin, that is when what we call the altcoin season has arrived. So at this moment, again, it looks like altcoin season has arrived. And right now, we think that obviously there are different views in the market, whether it's going to be short term. We think that it could come in quite strongly and may last for a while this time round. And this is where if you have allocation in odds or some of the, like I mentioned, the AI or DeFi or GameFi token, it's really time to pick some of the winners and to really study the technology, the on-chain statistics, the team behind it, and take really a rebalancing approach on your portfolio. What else is happening this week or this 3 months? Bitcoin ETF inflow has been really strong, reaching 18 billion the last 3 months. And one thing to note is that Treasury reserves, the accumulation has already outpaced the ETF inflow. What does that mean for a wealth holder? Which means that the whole macro trend, the whole liquidity piling on the crypto market is making the whole market like a sponge. It's absorbing a lot of liquidity right now, and obviously we mentioned about quantitative easing. All these signs are actually point to a stronger price or stronger demand for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency. So, and what's happening on the Treasury hodler for strategy, they added another 4,200 Bitcoin in July alone. So right now their market cap for their Bitcoin holdings have exceeded 71 billion. You're talking about 71 billion of Bitcoin holdings in a company. And what we call these Bitcoin is what we call the forever Bitcoin, because it looks like in the short term they are just buying, they're just accumulating, hodling, and not selling it in the short to mid term. So if you are thinking of accumulating, I would say either do it in DCA, dollar cost averaging, or actually have a very close watch on the market and start to accumulate when there is a drop in price, or start to rethink about how you want to allocate your allocation in a liquid strategy, in the liquid tokens, from all the top 10, Bitcoin, Solana, some of the layer 1 tokens, to other thematic themes that you have in mind. For us, it is AI and DeFi, GameFi as well, the third one. So with that, I just wanted to wrap up today's video. We are excited and watching all hands on deck on the altcoins movement, and there are a lot of, I would say, good tokens in the market, but not everything is a walk in the park, meaning that if you are bullish about certain theme or certain segment, do remember there is enough on-chain data and there is enough statistics, research, and information right now, both on-chain and some of those indicators that will actually help you pick and do a very intelligent selection of the tokens that you would like to take a position in. So till the next video, all the best.